Have you ever looked at yourself in the mirror and felt like you're failing? Like no matter how much you try to get things right, something always pulls you back. Do you feel like you're carrying the weight of so many mistakes? Like you've disappointed yourself again and again? If you've ever whispered to yourself, "Why can't I just be better?" then listen closely, because there's something you need to understand, something that could change everything. You were never meant to be perfect. That was never your purpose. You were meant to be sincere. That's all Allah asks of you. Not flawlessness, not a spotless life, not an image of perfection. He wants your effort, your intention, your return. You're not an angel. You were never created to be one. Angels don't sin, but you and I, we struggle, we trip, we fall. And that's part of the design. It's in the moments you cry in frustration, the moments you feel like giving up, the moments you whisper your pain to Allah. That's where sincerity lives. That's where your real worship begins. This world will tell you to perform, to look religious, to meet everyone's expectations. But Allah isn't looking at your performance. He's looking into your heart, into your struggle, into your quiet efforts, into that single moment you paused before a sin, or that tear that slipped after a prayer you thought wasn't good enough. That is sincerity. That is worth more than 1,000 empty rituals. Don't be fooled into thinking you need to be someone else to be loved by your Creator. You don't need to be perfect. You need to be real. The Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, showed us what balance first looks like, not because he demanded a perfection from us, but because he reminded us again and again that the most beloved people to Allah are not the ones who never sin, but the ones who keep turning back. So what does that mean for you? It means you are not your flaws. It means your past doesn't cancel your faith. It means even if you've fallen 100 times, you are still welcome to rise again. And maybe you're thinking, but I've gone too far. You haven't. As long as your heart is still beating, the door is still open. Maybe the fact that you're even listening to this now is proof that Allah is still calling you. Proof that your sincerity hasn't died. And don't underestimate that. Don't minimize your own efforts. Even if your worship feels weak, even if you feel like you're failing again and again, keep going. Keep praying. Keep returning. Because Allah doesn't expect perfection. He expects sincerity. And sincerity isn't always loud or visible. Sometimes it's messy. Sometimes it's quiet. Sometimes it's hidden in the chaos of your thoughts, in the shakiness of your voice when you call out His name. But it's still real and it's still beautiful. So please don't fake goodness for the world. Don't exhaust yourself trying to look strong when you're breaking inside. Be real with Allah. Be honest. If you're tired, say you're tired. If you're afraid, say you're afraid. If you're ashamed, say you're ashamed. That's not weakness. That's worship. That's the beginning of healing. Because the moment you stop pretending and start connecting, that's the moment you'll start to feel whole again. That's the moment sincerity begins to flow. And remember, hearts matter more than words. You can say all the right things and still be empty. Or you can say very little, but say it with your whole heart and be deeply connected to your Lord. So speak from that place. Speak from your heart. Worship from your heart. Return with your heart. Even if you're bruised, even if you're unsure, even if you've made mistakes you haven't told anyone about, Allah knows. And He still wants you back. And if you feel like no one understands your struggle, remember, Allah does. Allah sees you. Allah hears you. And Allah knows what you're trying to become. So don't give up now. Don't stop walking the path, even if you're limping, even if it's slow, even if you don't see the results yet. What matters is your direction. What matters is your sincerity. So come back. Come back with your flaws. Come back with your doubts. Back with your brokenness. Just come back, because you were never meant to be perfect. You were meant to be sincere. And that is enough. That maybe you've been told that once you mess up too many times, there's no way back. Maybe people around you make you feel like you're not religious enough, not strong enough, not worthy enough. Maybe you've begun to believe those voices, to absorb that guilt, to carry it like chains around your soul. But that's not the voice of your Lord. That's not the voice of mercy. Allah is not waiting to punish you. He's waiting to receive you with kindness, with forgiveness, with love. The world may see your faults and define you by them, but Allah sees your effort and defines you by your sincerity. So even if you've messed up again, even if you broke promises to yourself, if you whispered repentance last and stumbled this morning, don't let that stop you from turning back. That is exactly the moment sincerity becomes real. When you fall and still find the strength to say, Ya Allah, I'm trying. That is not weakness. That is faith. That is strength. That is worship. And it's enough, because your Lord didn't ask you to live without mistakes. He asked you to keep trying, to keep returning, to keep being sincere. The Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, didn't only teach us through perfection. He taught us through compassion, through patience, through mercy. He told us that the one who keeps repenting again and again is beloved to Allah. Not the one who never sins, but the one who never gives up. And maybe today you needed to be reminded of that. Maybe today you needed to hear that your efforts, though small, are not invisible. That your late night prayers, even the ones you cried through and thought were broken, were not in vain. Allah saw them, He counted, He loved them. And He loved you for making them. You see, sincerity doesn't look a certain way. It doesn't wear a certain outfit. It doesn't speak with certain words. Sincerity is hidden in the heart. It's raw, real, messy. It's the moment you whisper, forgive me, with tears in your eyes. It's the way you fight off a sin no one knows about. It's the way you sit with your guilt, not to punish yourself, but to find your way back to Allah. And He sees that. He sees it all. So please don't let your shame keep you silent. Don't let the fear of being judged stop you from reconnecting with your Creator. What matters most is not what you've done. It's where you want to go now. What matters is the direction your heart is facing. So turn it back, even if it's trembling, even if it's confused, even if it's still healing. Just turn it back, because the moment you face Him, the moment you say, I still believe, even after all this, is the moment your journey begins again. And you're allowed to begin again, as many times as you need to. Every new start is loved. Every small effort is written. Every broken prayer is received. And even when you feel like you're walking in circles, like you keep ending up at the same place, those loops are still progress. Those circles are still steps. Because every time you fall and rise again, your heart becomes softer, deeper, more connected. So don't give up on yourself. Don't think for a second that a sincerity doesn't count just because your outer life still needs fixing. The inside is what He looks at. The heart is what He judges. And your heart, If it's still hoping, still longing, still believing, then you're doing far better than you think. So be honest with yourself. Be honest with Allah. Stop faking perfection. Stop performing for the world. Start being sincere. Whisper to Him what you can't say out loud. Cry when you need to. Ask Him for strength when you feel tired of trying. You're not meant to carry this journey on your own. You're meant to walk it with Him. And He never left you. Even when you walked away, even when you stopped praying, even when you felt too dirty to speak to Him, He stayed. Waiting, patient, loving, ready. And now, as your heart begins to soften again, as the tears begin to rise again, don't ignore it. That's your sign. That's your turning point. You don't need permission to come back. You don't need to wait until you're better. You just need to be sincere. That's what opens the door. That's what brings the light back in. So come back now. Come back with all of it. The guilt, the grief, the exhaustion. Just come back because you were never meant to be perfect. You were always meant to be sincere. And that's all He's ever asked of you. Sometimes you sit quietly and wonder, will I ever truly change? Will I ever become that version of myself I keep dreaming about? The one who's strong, consistent, calm, close to Allah. You watch others who seem so much more disciplined, so much more peaceful, and you compare yourself, thinking, I'm so far behind. But that's not how Allah sees you. He doesn't compare you to others. He doesn't measure your worth by someone else's timeline. He looks at you, just you, your story, your scars, your struggles, your sincerity. That's what He sees. That's what He responds to. So even if you're still struggling with the same habits, even if you feel like your worship is all over the place, even if your emotions are tangled and your heart feels heavy, don't stop trying. Don't give up because change hasn't come fast enough. Change doesn't happen in a flash. Real growth is often quiet, slow, and hidden, like roots deep beneath the soil before a flower blooms. Allah sees those roots. He sees what's happening beneath the surface. Every time you push yourself to pray, even when you don't feel like it, even when your mind is scattered, that is sincerity. Every time you regret a mistake and make a quiet promise to do better, that is sincerity. Every time you slip and still whisper, Ya Allah, help me, that is sincerity. And that's what matters. That's what counts. You don't have to worship with eloquent words. You don't have to memorize long prayers. You don't need a perfect record. You just need a real heart. A heart that wants Allah. A heart that keeps showing up. And even if your heart is bruised, broken, or confused, bring it. Bring it back. Bring it to the one who created it. Because no one can handle your heart like He can. No one can heal it, understand it, or forgive it the way He can. He knows the layers you're carrying. He knows the quiet disappointments you've been bearing. He knows the moments you smile outside but feel empty inside. And He's not disappointed in you. He's not angry that you're struggling. He's inviting you again and again to be sincere, to stop pretending, to stop hiding, to be real. And maybe that's what today is for. To break down, to open up, to turn inward and say, enough running. You don't have to fix everything at once. You don't have to erase your past. You just have to stop running from your Lord. You just have to turn back and say, I'm ready to start again. Even if it's the 10th time, even if it's the 100th time, Allah never tires of your return. People might, but He never does. And maybe you don't know how to start. That's okay. Just sit. Just talk. Just whisper whatever is in your heart. There's no script. no ceremony, just connection, just honesty. That's what Allah wants. That's what He responds to. Not the image, not the show. Just you as you are. And if you've been carrying guilt for years, if you've been silently ashamed of who you've become, let this be your moment to breathe again. Let this be the day you release the weight, because guilt without return just becomes poison. But guilt followed by sincerity, that's transformation. That's how the heart softens. That's how your story shifts. So let go of who you think you had to be and just come back to who you really are. A soul that wants to be close to its creator. A soul that's tired of pretending. A soul that wants peace again. And peace won't come from performance. Peace comes from truth, from softness, from a sincere heart that says, I need you, my Lord, and I want to come home. That's enough. That's more than enough. Because Allah sees your struggle, even the ones you don't show. And He rewards every effort, not just the ones that succeed, but the ones that are made sincerely. So if all you do today is whisper His name through tired lips, then that's a win. If all you do is cry to Him in your own language, that's beautiful. If all you do is keep trying even while failing, then you are deeply, deeply loved. You were never asked to be perfect. You were only asked to be sincere. And right now, if your heart is even slightly moved, if you're even thinking of change, of turning back, then something special is already happening. Something real, something eternal. So don't stop now. Keep going. Keep walking, even slowly, even if you have to crawl. Even if you feel like you're still lost, just don't give up. Because as long as your heart beats and you keep turning toward Him, then you are already on your way back. And there is no better place to be than that. And maybe this is what your soul needed to hear all along. Not a list of what you're doing wrong. Not a cold reminder of how far you've strayed. A gentle truth wrapped in mercy that Allah still wants you back, just as you are. That even with all your flaws, even with the pain you carry, even with the mistakes you've made, you still matter to Him. That sincerity is still within you, flickering like a small flame that refuses to go out. And now, more than ever, it's time to protect that flame, to feed it, to let it grow into a light that guides you home. You've spent so long believing that perfection is the goal, that until you're polished and strong and constant, you don't deserve to return. That was never the truth. Allah never asked you to be flawless. He only asked you to be real with Him, to be humble, to be sincere. And sincerity doesn't need perfection. It needs presence. It needs honesty. It needs a heart that still whispers, I need you. Ya Allah. Even when your actions fall short, that's what draws you close to Him. That's what melts the barriers. That's what opens the doors of mercy again and again. So if your journey has been messy, if your progress has been slow, if you felt like a disappointment even to yourself, just pause. Pause and take a deep breath. Because Allah sees your struggle. He knows how hard it's been for you. He knows the guilt that eats at you, the nights you couldn't sleep, the days you faked smiles while drowning inside. And He's not angry at you. He's not pushing you away. He's calling you gently, lovingly, consistently. And today you heard that call again. You felt something stir. That was no accident. That was your Lord pulling your heart closer. Because no matter how far you've gone, as long as you still care, as long as you still believe, as long as you still want Him, even if all you can do is whisper it through tears, then you are welcome with Him. Then you are already on the way back. You don't have to do it all it at once. You don't have to change your entire life in one day. You just have to start one sincere moment, one honest prayer, one quiet return. That's how you rebuild. That's how you heal. And yes, you'll still make mistakes. You'll still fall. But now you know, it's not the fall that defines you. It's the return. It's the trying. It's the truth in your heart that keeps saying, I may not be perfect, but I still want to be close to you. And that is powerful. That is beautiful. That is enough. You've carried shame long enough. You've hidden your sincerity behind fear long enough. Today, let go of that fear. Let go of the need to appear okay. Let go of the weight that tells you you're not good enough. Because Allah never gave up on you. And He never will. His mercy is wider than your mistakes. His love is deeper than your regrets. And His door is still open. Right now, this second. So go ahead, take that step. Raise your hands, bow your head, whisper whatever's in your heart, even if it's not perfect, even if it's not eloquent. Just be real. Be sincere. Because you were never meant to be perfect, only sincere. And the one who is sincere will always be guided, always be loved, always be welcomed. So keep going, praying, keep hoping, keep returning. Let your journey be one of softness and truth. And the next time you feel like you're failing, remind yourself, I am not perfect, but I am sincere. And that means I still have a chance, I still have hope, I still have a path. And that path leads me back to the one who created me, knows me, and loves me even when I feel unworthy. So breathe. You're not alone. You're never too far. And you are never beyond His mercy. Just be sincere. Because that always and forever is enough.